And we're back for our daily NBA best bets here on Sunday, October 26th. We've got a good 10-ish games here in the association today, and of course we're going to have our 5 best bets for this entire slate. Now folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA best bets here on the channel. Tomorrow morning we're going to have, of course, more daily NBA best bets and our Game 3 World Series best bets, obviously between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Also, tomorrow on the channel at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, our Week 10 college football predictions, probably about 4 hours if I had to guess of college football predictions. You're not going to want to miss that. But again, every single day here on the channel are NBA best bets. College basketball best bets starting in about a week and 1 day to be exact, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. Again, daily college basketball best bets coming soon to the channel. And on Greedo Plays MMA, yesterday we posted our UFC Fight Night Garcia versus Onama full card predictions. Go make sure to check out that video on Greedo Plays MMA. That will be linked in the description down below. Only a video in this setup, so don't worry. Again, no graphics today, but we'll be back with them tomorrow. Let's do it. First of 5 best bets here for this October 26th slate. I will have timestamps. I hope I remember this time. I'll have timestamps linked down below, or I guess stamped down below. So you can skip to whatever bet today, just because, again, there are no graphics on the screen. Okay, so first of 5 today, let's go. We're going to do 2 player props, and we're going to do 3 money lines. So the first bet we have today, Josh Hart, over 15.5 points and rebounds, minus 120 for Josh Hart today. I think it's a very achievable line. Now, Josh Hart has only played 1 of the 2 games so far this season for the New York Knicks, missing opening night against the Cleveland Cavaliers and instead playing their 2nd game of the season against the Boston Celtics. And Josh Hart in 19 minutes, guys, he only played 19 minutes coming off an injury. He has a game time decision for tonight. I expect him to play, and obviously if he doesn't, well, we'll just take the void. But I think Josh Hart will play after he did play against Boston. Josh Hart in that game, though, 19 minutes, didn't play much, only 19 minutes, still put up 14 boards and 2 points. Okay. So again, he technically does clear the 15.5 point line, and obviously it's an unrealistic expectation to say, oh, Josh Hart's going to continue to get 14 or put up 14 boards every single night, even though, again, Hart is always around the glass. He's a guy who, we can look to for, rely, I can say maybe like on 7, 8 rebounds a game. He obviously has the potential, and he's done it before. We saw it last season, and we've seen it again throughout the course of Hart's career in New York. He has potential to get in the double digits, but we obviously expect Josh Hart to score more than 2 points, right? I mean, I'm thinking 10 points out of Josh Hart, and then the rest should be done with boards. Or 8 points for Josh Hart, that'd be 8 rebounds. I mean, 10 points is realistically what we should shoot for here with Josh Hart, and then we just need 6 rebounds. Obviously, again, if he falls a little bit short of the 10-point mark, we should be fine from there. Again, in Hart's first game, right, coming off an injury, played 19 minutes, went 1 for 8 shooting, hit 1 shot from the field. That was his only points that he scored in the entire game. Did not get to the free throw line, went 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, so ran cardio on offense. Now, that's not fair because he crashes glass all the time. But I mean, 2 points and 14 boards. Again, I think we're fine here because obviously, we're not going to expect Hart to get those amount of rebounds every single game, but at the same time, too, I mean, Hart will probably score more than 2 points. I'll be damned if he doesn't. We'll see what we get in terms of a minute share for Josh Hart here tonight. Again, only 19 minutes in that game against the Boston Celtics. The Knicks are in Miami today against the Miami Heat. It's a team I would expect New York to beat 100%. I mean, the Cavs have played back-to-back competitive games this season, again, against the Knicks and against Boston. I expect a good 20-ish minutes out of Josh Hart. I just don't know how much they're going to want to play him, again, coming off of the injury, and we're not still, not like the good old days where we had Tom Thibodeau rotations in New York where your star players are playing 40 minutes, not even your star players, your starters were playing 40 minutes every night. This rotation in New York is a lot more balanced, I can say. Josh Hart right now coming off the bench since the Knicks are starting Brunson, Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns, and, actually decent non-playoff rotations for the New York Knicks. And you got, Mikal Bridges played the most amount of minutes. He played 36 last game, and we would see Mikal Bridges easily play 42 minutes even in the first week of the season. It's just what Thibodeau did, and obviously that, it wasn't the main reason Tibbs got fired, but I would say it's definitely one of those reasons. So the Knicks actually reach into their bench now. They play a full 10-man rotation, which is absurd considering what they used to do. I mean, last year, 7-man, 8-man rotations. The Knicks have 5 guys that they played off the bench against Boston. They played Gershon Yabusele. They played Jordan Clarkson, who they just got in trade. They got Josh Hart, who played 19 minutes, but the most minutes off the bench. Tyler Kolek and Landry Shamet also played. But obviously, you know what Hart does in this, in this lineup. He plays a a small power forward essentially. He plays a forward position, and he's going to obviously still crash glass. He plays a lot bigger than he actually is, and that's just his role in this team. He's a scrappy guy, he can go out and get rebounds. He doesn't play like he's 6 feet 5 inches tall, and that's perfectly fine. So I think we get around 10 points at a job. 10 points for Hart in 20 minutes, a little brutal. I think we can expect about 8 points, I believe, because in 20 minutes, Hart still took 8 shots. So I think if we get 8-ish points for Hart, we can expect maybe 2 free throws, 8 points, 8 boards. I think we should get that. I mean, Hart had 8 rebounds just on the defensive glass alone against Boston, and he had 6 offensive boards as well. And maybe we see a little bit of an uptick in minutes played. Like, I know, again, Hart's not, starting for New York right now, and that's okay. I'll be damned if he doesn't play the most minutes every single night coming off the bench if he stays on the bench, right? I mean, he's going to get more minutes than Yabu, going to get more minutes than Clarkson, Shamet, and Kolek. I mean, he is obviously the 6th man right now for New York. And obviously, sure, it's a progressive thing where they're going to play him more and more minutes, but I'm perfectly fine with this line. Josh Hart over 15.5 points in rebounds. We're not going to mess with the assists today. Hart in his 2nd game of the season. Again, there's a question of if he plays or not. If he doesn't play, whatever it is, what it is, we won't chalk it, but we'll just, we'll avoid it for today. But I think, again, if Hart plays, I think it's a pretty good spot for him. I'm not sold by this Miami team. Should be a lot of rebound opportunities for Josh Hart. And again, in a potentially 20-plus minute appearance, I think Hart should be able to get this done. Give me Josh Hart over 15.5 points and rebounds in Miami against the Heat. Next up, we go on to our first of 3 money lines for today. And I can't believe I'm doing this, but I am. Let's go to Washington, D.C. for the Washington Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets, 2 teams that are expected to be nowhere near the postseason this year. I'm taking the team that people think are tanking already for AJ. I'm taking the Washington Wizards. I know this will probably be the last time you hear me say that. Last year, even when we predicted every single game of the NBA season, I barely said those words, give me Washington, but here we are. I'm going to take the Wizards to beat Charlotte. I said yesterday we're going to continue to look for matchups where we get teams coming off the second nights of back-to-backs, and obviously that didn't go entirely our way yesterday with the Indiana Pacers. I mean, everyone's injured. Nembhard's hurt. Benedict Mathurin gets injured now. It's, Spicy P, Pascal Siakam's the only one left, and Indiana does play Minnesota today. For as much as I would love to say Indiana plus 11.5, I have to lay off with all those injuries and with the team playing on the road again for the second night of a back-to-back. So here's the thing with Charlotte. They're going into Washington. They just played yesterday. They played a competitive game. Obviously, we hit our 2-leg parlay for our player props in that game. LaMelo Ball went over 2.5 3-pointers. And how about Ryan Kalkbrenner? 7 boards. We needed 6. So the Kalk and Ball parlay hit yesterday for us. That was big time. But Charlotte plays a really competitive game, right? They're up in the 3rd quarter and in the 4th quarter of that basketball game, but Philly comes storming back, and the 76ers eventually take it by a score of 125 to 121. So a 4-point victory for Philadelphia, but a competitive game that that Charlotte just played, and now you got to go second night of a back-to-back on the road. Again, it's one thing to go back-to-back and you're staying in the same spot, but you're going, again, and I get it, this is not the longest flight, but you're going from Philly now to D.C., back-to-back road games, back-to-back nights. Don't love it. Also, Brandon Miller got injured yesterday in that Charlotte-Philadelphia game. He went out with the shoulder injury after playing 9 minutes. I think he's going to be fine. I'll tell you this, though. He can be completely fine. They'll say, don't play the second night of a back-to-back. It makes no sense. Again, that's the NBA. There's 82 games. There's no reason to push a guy back, especially in a spot like this. So we probably don't see Brandon Miller play, and that then creates for a Charlotte starting lineup of probably LaMelo Ball, Colin Sexton, Miles Bridges, probably Con Knuppel, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. So you get 2 rookies in there. You obviously get Sexton, Ball, Kalkbrenner, Bridges. I'm not too sold on it. Obviously, Charlotte won their first game of the season. They beat Brooklyn, but the Nets aren't very good either. We've seen that throughout the course of the year already, and it's, the Brooklyn Nets. And I get it, Washington's not some powerhouse. They're not even close to that, but Washington won their first game of the season in Dallas 2 nights ago. You have to call it an upset as the Mavericks have started the season 0-2. Washington goes on the road to Dallas, and obviously Fire Nico's in full effect right now, at least the chance. Shout out to Luka Doncic. But Washington goes on the road and beats Dallas by 7 points, 117 to 107. A huge night for Keyshawn George, 34 points for him on 7 for 9 shooting from beyond the 3-point line. Insane stuff. I mean, he was one of 3 double-digit scorers for Washington in the entire game. But I think the Wizards are able to get Charlotte here. Again, this is more we're picking against Charlotte than we're picking Washington. I mean, it really is. Washington's first home game of the season, as they had to go to Milwaukee and to Dallas. I'm sure they're going to get a crazy crowd. I'm so sure of it. The Capital One Arena is going to be absolutely jam-packed tonight with people clamoring to get in to watch the Washington Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets. But I do think they win this game. Again, you have some tired legs coming in here with Charlotte. It's back-to-back road games. I think Washington's able to get this done. Chris Middleton had a decent game in their first game of the season on Wednesday in Milwaukee. That's a game where they ultimately fell short by 13 points, but I think Washington's able to get this. And again, this is not me, going, oh my goodness, look how great the Wizards are, because again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think I'm going to utter those words for the rest of the season and say, oh, give me Wizards money line. I'm serious. This is probably the only spot in the entire year that will do this. And maybe the Wizards, catch me by surprise, but yeah, I'll be very shocked if they do. I don't think anyone is expecting the Wizards to be all that this season, or even legitimately, maybe, I don't think anyone's expecting them to be a 36-win team, but you get a starting lineup right now of Bub Carrington, CJ McCollum, Keyshawn George, Chris Middleton, Alex Sarr. Sarr looking to make that next step in his second year in the NBA. They're playing an assortment of guys off the bench, but the main guys they're playing, Corey Kispert's been around for quite a bit in the league, obviously, and for Washington, he's going to be a three-point shooter off the bench. Marvin Bagley's still hanging around the league, believe it or not. Trey Johnson played 26 minutes, and Cam Whitmore is going to play quite a bit as well. And I think this is a good spot for them. Again, Charlotte coming off the second night of the back-to-back, and on top of that, the Brandon Miller injury is not going to help. Again, LaMelo Ball is going to be very ball dominant. He's going to take a lot of shots. Again, we had him to hit 3 3-pointers yesterday against Philadelphia. He hits 4. He's going to be the leading scorer, I would expect, as yesterday LaMelo had 27 and Colin Sexton had 21. Kalkbrenner had 14 and Bridges had 18. But I like Washington in this spot. I believe the Wizards go out and get it done. Give me Washington Wizards money line -140 off the backs. I think of a Chris Middleton and Keyshawn George effort and an Alex Sarr effort as well. Again, Sarr versus the rookie and Kalkbrenner out of Creighton. I do believe the Wizards get it done. Give me -140 for Washington at home against the Charlotte Hornets. We move on now to our third best bet of the video and our second money line. We go to Dallas, Texas for the Dallas Mavericks and the Toronto Raptors. My thought process with this is the Mavs eventually have to win a game. They are too talented, and they have too many very skillful players to lose 3 consecutive games to start the season. Would I laugh if they did? Well, after we're picking them and betting on them today, probably not. But in hindsight, yeah, it'd be really funny if they were to lose their first 3 games of the year, considering what Luka Doncic has done to start the season. More on Luka later. But Dallas is 0-2 first game of the season. Well, they get Wembeed. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs go into Dallas, and the Spurs win that game by 30 points. Big ESPN primetime game. San Antonio went in there and absolutely beat down on the Washington Wizards, or sorry, on the Dallas Mavericks, and then obviously the Washington Wizards go into Dallas and beat the Mavs. Anthony Davis has been the leading points getter and rebounds getter for Dallas in back-to-back games. 22 points in their opener, 27 points in that game against Washington. It's a lineup that's been talked about quite a bit in the offseason. Hell, Charles Barkley in one of the first segments on Inside the NBA on ESPN, Charles Barkley and the Inside the NBA crew are talking about how the Dallas Mavericks could be the second best lineup in the Western Conference and how they could be the biggest threat to the reigning champions in the Oklahoma City Thunder. And obviously a lot of that's dependent on Kyrie Irving's injury and when Kyrie does come back. Again, he is expected to be back at some point in time in the regular season. But so far, yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle for Dallas. Obviously, there's a bunch of clips of Anthony Davis getting bullied by Victor Wembanyama in the first game of the year. But, you can take that with a grain of salt. It's one game, and Wembanyama is just a freak. He's an alien. It doesn't make sense. But I look at Dallas. Cooper Flagg looked a lot better in his second game than he did in his first, right? Cooper Flagg against Washington, 18 points on 6 for 14 shooting, 2 for 5 from beyond the arc. And Anthony Davis, when he's healthy and when he wants to be, yes, AD can be a very elite and a high level and really just a top player in basketball. I think that gets forgotten a lot about Anthony Davis. Like, prior to the Luka trade last season, in October, November, and in December, before AD got hurt, when the Lakers went on that road trip, he got hurt in Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken, it was. AD was playing like an elite player in basketball. He was playing like a top 5 player in basketball. Then the injury happened. He gets sent to Dallas. He gets injured in his first game with the Mavs. Obviously, try to make a comeback at the end of the season, but that gets forgotten about a lot with Anthony Davis. At his best, yes, he is top 10. It's just the injuries, and it's, can he really reach that full potential, because how healthy really is Anthony Davis? But right now, I mean, we are seemingly getting a very healthy and an elite caliber AD. AD against Washington, 27 points, 13 boards on 9 of 19 shooting, getting to the free throw line effectively, taking 12 free throws, making 9 of them. I mean, that's a big game out of Anthony Davis, and a game that Dallas is going to need out of, I guess, one of their franchise pieces. I mean, Dallas has a big three. It's Cooper Flagg, it's Kyrie Irving, and it is AD, who I would say is the most important part of that championship contending squad. Again, I don't know if Dallas is going to get there. I don't think Dallas is honestly going to make the biggest push this season, but I mean, it all hinges on Anthony Davis. Like, yes, Kyrie's important, yes, Cooper Flagg's important, but, you know, with all due respect to Kyrie, you can find other playmakers. Obviously, Kyrie does that at the best extent, so you need Kyrie Irving, but Cooper Flagg's young, he's still trying to develop. You can't win right now without Anthony Davis. Again, you'd love to have Kyrie. Cooper Flagg, you know, right now, I think is the least important part of that crew. Obviously, in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, he's going to be the most important when AD and Kyrie are getting older, but right now, for Dallas to contend, for Dallas to be, you know, great this season, they need Anthony Davis to be great, and they need Anthony Davis to give them elite production. So right now, again, AD's playing well. Everything around him, you know, PJ Washington starting, Cooper Flagg, Derek Lively, and Klay Thompson. They need that Thompson three-point shot to continue to fall. It hasn't so far to start the season. They're going to get Toronto at home. And again, my thought process behind this is I just don't think the Mavericks lose 3 straight games. Oh, by the way, all 3 games are at home. I don't know who made the schedule, but who gave the Dallas Mavericks 5 straight home games to start the year? Who thought that was a good idea? I mean, guys, again, the FBI did their raid of Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier. Apparently, you know, I think Adam Silver's going to start to get questioned. It should come out, like, oh, how do the Mavs win the lottery? Can we sort that one out? You know, is someone in Congress going to mention that? Like, you know, I need like a North Carolina congressman to say, hey, like, Cooper Flagg should be a Charlotte Hornet right now. You know, and no disrespect to, you know, or I need like a Utah, you know, congressman. Like, hey, like, why isn't Cooper Flagg in Salt Lake City right now? We're a booming economy. We got the Mammoth, we got the Jazz. Like, come on. Like, no disrespect to Ace Bailey, but, you know, we wanted Cooper Flagg. I need someone to press Adam Silver on that. But why the hell did the Dallas Mavericks get 5 straight home games to start the season, then a game in Mexico against the Pistons to go on the road for 1 game, and they're immediately back at home right after? I get it. Like, eventually they're going to have to go on the road, but damn, they stacked it early for Mavericks home games. I mean, usually you do not see more than 3 consecutive home games. They get 5 and 6 out of 7 to start the year. What? So here's the thing, right? Dallas is not going to continue to lose this many games. They get Oklahoma City coming into Dallas tomorrow, second night of the back-to-back. I get it, the Mavs over the last couple seasons have always had the Thunder's number, but especially with Luka Doncic. If you're Dallas, you're looking at this like, we need to win this game. Because OKC comes in tomorrow, OKC's undefeated, and it's the second night of a back-to-back for Dallas tomorrow. Like, they need to win this basketball game. They're playing Toronto. I get it, we picked the Raptors the other day. They came up a little bit short. Back and forth affair against the Bucks. They had an 8-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they let Milwaukee put it on him. I mean, Giannis hits a 3 with like 7 minutes to go, and it just all started to go downhill from there. I mean, Toronto got beat by a one-man squad. They got beat by a one-man squad. That's what the Milwaukee Bucks are this season. You get cardio games every single night out of Miles Turner. Gary Trent's just a 3. I mean, Gary Trent, you know what he's going to do. He's just going to shoot a 3 every single possession, and, you know, Toronto didn't pick up on it. I believe the better basketball team right now. Actually, I can't say Dallas is a better basketball team, but I think Dallas at home, I think they win this game. Again, B.I.'s having a good year. RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes. It's a good Dallas team. Or, sorry, a good Toronto team. Again, like, just because they lost that game to Milwaukee doesn't mean I'm down on them. I think the Mavs get them here. It's more from the perspective, like, is Dallas really losing 3 straight home games to start the season the way AD played against the Wizards the other night? Probably not. So I'm going to go Toronto Raptors to lose in Dallas. Give me Mavericks money line, minus 115 for Dallas at home against the Toronto Raptors, picking up their first win here in 2025. Let's go on to our 4th best bet of the video and our 2nd player prop. Let's go to a matchup over in Inglewood at the Intuit Dome between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Los Angeles Clippers. So we can finally freely bet on Portland Trail Blazers player props. So now randomly Denny Adjiva is not going to get pulled, you know, with a full quarter and a half left to play. Oh, Adjiva's out now because, you know, Chauncey's got his under, right? And I know technically, oh, you know, Chauncey never didn't get busted for that. He got busted for illegal poker games, but I'm telling you, if you watched Blazers games last year, things felt weird watching those games. Anyways, they've been freed of Chauncey Billups, so again, new meeting to the Jailblazers. But regardless, Denny Adjiva has played great basketball this season. And I said this at the tail end of last year too, and we were picking up on it. I mean, like, Denny Adjiva played really good ball last year, and it really went underappreciated because he played in Portland, and the Trailblazers season was over pretty early, even though if you paid attention, like, the Blazers towards the tail end of the year, like, they were catching up to Phoenix, they were catching up to Dallas, those teams, borderline, or I guess Sacramento, like the teams at the very low end of the play-in. Portland was catching up at the end of the year. Now, of course, they did not come through and, follow through and obviously make the play-in, but they were just around at the end of last season, and they randomly won some big games. Like, after they turned a corner first half of the year, it's probably because Chauncey had his bet already cashed of Portland to not make the postseason, or over-under wins. Chauncey bet the under, and obviously Portland had already hit that. Adjeva was playing really great basketball at the end of last season. I mean, look at what Adjeva averaged last year at the end of the year. In March, Deni Adjeva averaged 24 points a game. I mean, that's a crazy step up from February when he only averaged 14. They started running a lot through Adjeva. He's now, again, like, you look at Portland playing right now, Adjeva's their number one. He is. I mean, he's their number one go-to scorer. Obviously, they had the big trade in the offseason, dealing Anfernee Simons over to Boston to the Celtics. You add Drew Holiday, but obviously Holiday's not going to be a major shot taker. He's not going to take away from the production of Adjeva at all. And you got Shaedon Sharpe in there, who, again, is going to shoot the basketball, but really, I mean, Adjeva's, they're going to give the ball to Adjeva over him, and obviously Toumani Camara is not a bad player, but again, this is a team where Deni Adjeva is the number one option. And Deni Adjeva will continue to produce this entire season. I'm very confident about that. But look at what Adjeva did at the tail end of last year, and that production and how it picked up. Again, the average points per game for Deni Adjeva in the month of February, 14. In March, it was 24. I mean, the uptick in production, it kept going, and it's just the amount of three-point shots he was taking. Adjeva goes from taking 3 3-pointers a game, 4 3-pointers a game, to doubling that. Games where he's taking 8 3-pointers. He's taking 9 3-pointers, and he's playing 30-plus minutes a night. He's getting up to 40 minutes a night. And I get it. Like, that changes now, obviously. That was, late stretch of last year. Portland really, we can burn out our guys a little bit. We have nothing to lose. We're going to play Adjeva 38 minutes a game, but look at what Deni's done so far this year. 2 games for Portland, one, both at the Rose Garden in the Moda Center over in Portland, but against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 33 minutes for Adjeva, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Who cares about the assist? But again, the line tonight's 19.5 for Adjeva, so on opening night he scores 20, and then against the Golden State Warriors in a big victory, in a blowout victory at home for Portland, Adjeva scores 26 points. There you go. And you got to look at, how many shots Adjeva's taken as well. Adjeva takes 18 shots in the Warriors' victory. 18 shots, 6 of them from beyond the arc, 4 for 6 from the three-point line. That game against Minnesota was actually a really bad shooting night for Adjeva. Still scored 20, found a way to get it done. Did go to the line 10 times and hit 8 free throws, but Adjeva goes 0 for 6 from beyond the arc in that Minnesota game, and yet he still finds a way to go over this line. So that's why I absolutely love the line for Adjeva here. Matchup-wise, I'm okay with Los Angeles, the Clippers. Clippers have played good ball so far this season. I mean, it is an unction over there. It's like, Golden State's like Olden State. You've got the unction in Los Angeles. Kawhi's not getting any younger. You've got Unk CP3, Bradley Beal, James Harden. I mean, everyone's so old here. Nick Batum's here, Brook Lopez. I mean, how many old guys did this team go out and get? It's ridiculous. I mean, I respect it, I guess. Anyways, though, there should be a lot of good spots for Adjeva in this game. I mean, yeah, again, he's going to see a Kawhi Leonard matchup. He's going to see a Derrick Jones matchup, but Adjeva scores regardless, I think. I mean, the amount of shots he takes and the fact that Portland runs that offense through him. When they need a bucket, they go to Deni Adjeva. Sure, again, from beyond the arc, sometimes they'll go to Shaedon Sharpe, but, Adjeva is their main guy. He plays the 4 for them because right now they're playing they're still playing Camara at the 3, and they went more lineups last year where they'd go even smaller, but that's fine. Again, Clingan at the 5, Adjeva at the 4. I think Portland's going to be able to find a way to get Adjeva the ball quite a bit, and again, we've seen it already in the first 2 games of the season. He has gone over 19.5 points. Why wouldn't he do it again? I get it, they're on the road in Los Angeles, but I think Adjeva gets it done. Give me Portland's power forward Deni Adjeva over 19.5 points. That's marked at -130 over at the Intuit Dome against the Los Angeles Clippers. On to our final best bet of the video. Let's go to the Los Angeles basketball team. They're in Sacramento tonight, though. The Los Angeles Lakers on the road at the Golden One Center against the Sacramento Kings. Give me Los Angeles. I'm not just doing this because, I'm a Lakers guy. I am wearing a Lakers shirt. I'm not doing it just because, again, I like the Lakers. I love the matchup, guys. Sacramento is not in it. They're not even close to what the Lakers can offer. Now, this line hinges on Luka Doncic. I get it, because if Luka doesn't play, hear me out, I'd still play it. I actually would if Luka doesn't play. We'd get even better odds. Now, don't get me wrong. I really want Luka to play, because right now with Luka, even with Luka projected to play, -120 odds for the Lakers. If Luka doesn't play, expect that to flip to legitimately plus 120. Hear me out. I think AR can actually win that game on the road. It will be, solely dependent on what Austin Reeves can do. I think, again, if you make Reeves the number 1 option, he can get it done, obviously not consistently, but in a one-game basis to get it against a team like Sacramento who doesn't play the best defense. Don't mind it. Now, we're expecting Luka Doncic to play against a team that passed up on him in the NBA draft. Do not forget, they passed up on Luka. Well, yeah, they took Marvin Bagley over him, which is crazy. They also took Marvin Bagley over Trae Young. I get it, they had De'Aaron Fox at the time, but still, it's okay. I'm glad the Bagley move worked out well for them. Anyways, guys, Luka Doncic right now is the best player in basketball. Maybe it's SGA. I mean, SGA, Mr. Consistency every single night. I get it. Luka Doncic so far this season, 2 games. He averages 46 points a night, guys. Yep, opening night, 41 minutes, 43 points against the Golden State Warriors. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Luka Doncic, 35 minutes, 14 of 23 shooting, 5 for 12 from beyond the arc, 49 points. This is what skinny Luka can do. I mean, that's what a full off-season's work can do. Full preparation. Doncic is back. And, I mean, he is willing this team to victory right now. So right now, the injury for Luka, it's not the groin injury that we were a little bit concerned about that he kind of, that got to him in the Portland game. It's a finger injury for Doncic today as the Lakers go into Sacramento. Little concerned because this is the first night of a back-to-back for Los Angeles. But, okay. It's not like this is like an ankle injury. It's not a leg injury. It's just a finger. Like, I think we're going to be fine here. I'd expect Luka to play through it. So I'm not too pressed on that. And again, if worst comes to worst, here comes AR leading a team out. I think they can beat Sacramento. Guys, I think the Kings are really bad. And I get it, they won their last game against Utah, and Utah, first game of the year for them at least, the Jazz beat the Los Angeles Clippers and blew out the Clippers over in Utah. But a 1-point victory over Utah for Sacramento, winning the game 105-104. This has been a Zach LaVine-led effort pretty much every single night. LaVine is obviously the main contributor, main scorer for the Kings. This is a team without Domantas Sabonis right now, so they're starting Drew Eubanks at the 5, where it's a matchup that DeAndre Ayton should be absolutely able to dominate. We go at DeAndre Ayton for not being great on the glass at times. He will absolutely eat Drew Eubanks alive tonight. Eubanks is not the best board getter. I'd say the best board getter in the starting lineup for Sacramento. I don't know who it is. The best board getter on the team, I'd say, is Maxime Reynaud, the rookie out of Stanford. He's not going to play more than 15 minutes. I could argue Russell Westbrook is their best board getter. I mean, they're starting Nick Clifford, the rookie out of Colorado State, but he's out, I believe. He got injured in their last outing. Yeah, this is interesting. Zach LaVine also game time decision today. With an illness, but you know how Lakers games go. Come on, LaVine's not going to play. Again, we've been around this too many times. The Kings don't impress me. Guys, the Kings are projected to start Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Isaac Jones, and Sabonis is back tonight? Oh, are we serious? I just assumed Domantas Sabonis is still out. Is he actually back? That's ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. Sabonis is back. He came back in the Utah game. That's my apologies on that one. He's played 37 minutes and scored 12 points. Okay. That's fine. I mean, again, they're still starting Eubanks. Or they're not starting Eubanks anymore. They're starting Isaac Jones now with Domantas Sabonis in there. Again, Sabonis' second game off an injury. I thought Sabonis was still out. That's my apologies on that. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not that concerned about Sacramento. Even with Sabonis in the lineup, it's like, okay, like, DeRozan and LaVine, that combo in 2025 just doesn't really wow me at all. They got Schroeder taking 16 shots a game. Come on. I mean, you're playing Eubanks off the bench. So Eubanks is your second unit center now. Means Reynaud's not playing. I mean, again, it's Sabonis still coming off an injury. Only scored 12 points in the Utah game. I'm not too concerned about it. I look how Los Angeles plays and how Luka's playing. Nobody's beating the Lakers when Luka's playing like he did in the Minnesota game, and Reeves is playing that well as well. And if Gabe's hitting his shots from beyond the arc, Rui's hitting his shots from beyond the arc, we are okay. So I'm going to take Los Angeles here. Again, my fault. My apologies on the Domantas Sabonis thing. That doesn't really matter to me at all, though. Maybe change my perspective a little bit if Luka doesn't play, but I expect Doncic to play, and I watched Sacramento. They're not good defensively. I watched them blow a 20-point lead to the Phoenix Suns on opening night, and I get it, Sabonis wasn't playing that game, but I don't really care. I don't think Sabonis' second game off an injury really changes things too much. Might be a little bit, actually, a lot more difficult for DeAndre Ayton, but again, I'm not that concerned. So give me Los Angeles Lakers money line on the road in Sacramento against the Kings, -120 for Luka and the Lakers. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA best bets here for October 26th. If you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do. It's a great thing in the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.